Hi Stars, here's Millie Stars with another episode for the Artist Advice series, and today we're going to be talking about promoting online. So first thing, your website. You need a website. Regardless of what you're making or what you're doing, you need a website. And not only do you need a website, you also need to have a domain name. This helps with not only branding, but it also makes it easier for people to find you, because it's easier to say www.milliestars.com instead of saying www.wixsite/blah blah blah/milliestars.com. That's a lot longer. It can get confusing. So having a domain name eliminates all that extra stuff, and it makes it look like you've invested a lot more into your craft. A domain name can cost you anywhere from like $12 to $20 depending on where you go. I personally use GoDaddy. I have like 3 domains on there, and it renews either every year, you can do it every couple of years, it depends on what your budget is. And then your website hosting, you can there's so many different ones. Wix, WordPress, even GoDaddy has website making tools. So you just find the one that works best for you and go from there. Next up, social media. I am not the best person for social media. I'm not a fan. I don't really like it too much, but unfortunately it is a place where the majority of people consume their content and get suggestions for things. So you have to have a presence on social media. Try to be as active as you can, but of course when you're creating and doing other things, social media can fall to the wayside. If at some point you're able to find a social media manager, so then that way you have somebody who could push out that content and pick up the slack where maybe you're not, it might not be your forte. Social media is not my forte whatsoever, so I definitely am one of those people who would need a social media manager. But don't focus too much on it, just make sure that you are pushing your stuff out. Don't get so consumed in trying to promote on social media that your craft starts to lack. Next up, streaming. What streaming platforms are you going to use? Are you going to use YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Mixcloud? Where do you want to put your music? And most importantly, when your music is on there, make sure that you mention it to people. Like if you have a flyer, make sure maybe you put on the bottom available on Spotify, or when you're doing an interview or promoting, make sure that you tell people, hey, you can find my music on Mixcloud, on Spotify, on whatever it may be, whatever streaming service that you are using. Next, PR. EPKs are good for PR. Press releases in general, or you can easily send it out to multiple bloggers or media platforms, and you're not having to sit down and craft a new email. You sit down once or have somebody do it for you. Okay, press kits or press release. A press release, you can have somebody write it up for you, and then you can easily send it to multiple media platforms, and it's to the point. It has your bio, it has your pictures, it has your links, it has all of your info, so it's very easy to package it up really nice and send it to different media platforms. If you're releasing one song, you can also use a press release just to say, hey, this song is coming out this day, X, Y, and Z. A press kit is it's better used for pitching to record labels and in-person things, but nowadays we have EPKs, which is an electronic press kit, which again is usually like 1 to 2 pages depending on how much information you need to provide and how much you need to include. Electronic press kits I am personally more fond of at the moment, just because you can add video links and things like that, and it's easier to edit, and you don't need a printout or anything like that. You just kind of to the point, and it's just easier. And then lastly, the last way that I found to promote online is having an email list. So on your website you can have a call to action where you have people subscribe. You have to make sure that it's permission based. You can get into a lot of legal trouble if someone decides that they want to take it that far. Randomly have people on an email list that they did not sign up for, you can get into trouble. So having an email list, you can stay connected to all your fans, to media sources, things like that. So as I was saying, email lists. Your fans want to stay in touch with you and get updated on what you have going. And it's a great way for them to sign up and get those instant updates on what you're doing, when you're dropping new things. And again, you could send out press releases, you could send out new music. Make sure you just craft a really good email when you do send it out, and maybe don't overwhelm people. Don't have it sent out every single day, maybe on a weekly, or give them different options. And make sure that you always add the unsubscribe button at the bottom of the email, because that can get you into a lot of legal trouble not having that unsubscribe button. Trust me, I know. I work with attorneys. It's very important. And then also have them follow you. Also add maybe a call to action at the end of it. Like have them say, come follow me here, or I'm going to do a live stream this day, so you guys should check this out, or video is dropping this day, and then maybe send another reminder the day of, or just have different creative ways for your email list to communicate what you're doing, aside from social media and all of that other things. All those other things aside from your website. Give people as many options as you feasibly can. Don't overwork yourself trying to do more than what you can handle. Just do whatever you can handle, but make sure that you know, hey, I have other options and there's other ways to go about things. So that's my quick tidbit for the Artist Advice series. This video was it's a bit choppy because we're all quarantined, we're all at home. Gotta work from home, so you gotta make do with everybody's schedules. So if you like this, then like, subscribe, share, comment. If there's any other topics you want to discuss, let me know. Follow me on all social media at Melly Stars, and then check out my website, www.mellystars.com. And stay tuned for more of these coming soon, especially with this quarantine. Bye, stars.